warm greeting to one and all. Dear friends, myself, Dr. S. B. Kishore, welcome you all in our MSSS tutorial. In the today's sessions, we are going to discuss about the macro object. So in the last session, we have discussed in depth about the report. That is, we have seen what is the report, the procedure to generate the report, then procedure to generate the report using a wizard. Then we have discussed the elements of report, then how to print the report, and finally we have seen how to add and put those into a report. So in the today's sessions, we are going to discuss about the macros, then the operation that can be possible on the macros, then the types of macros, that is name macros or data macros, and finally we will discuss some of the event list. What is macros? Macros allows us to automate the common tasks such as what? Printing a report or opening a form or opening a query, something like that. Okay. So if you find a certain repeating common task over, then create a macros, especially if the task contains what? One or more steps. So what are the operations that can be possible on the macros? Macros are used to perform certain actions on the database. One can perform the following operation using the macros. That is, open the database in various forms like tables or forms or queries or report or etc. It means you are able to open the various objects using the macros. Then you will be able to close the table, forms, etc. You are able to give a certain warning message to users, then move a data between the table. So these are some of the common operations that can be possible using a macros. Now, what are the types of macros? So basically, there are two types of the macros. The one is called as name macros. That is the macros that run when they are called as name macros or standalone macros. While the second one is called as a data macro or event macros. It means these macros run when certain operations are going to be performed on the particular data of that particular table. Okay, so event macros are those macros that are triggered when some actions are occur to a data in a table. You can program a data macro to run immediately after you add or delete or update certain data on a table by using a triggering called as after event, after update, before update, after delete, before update, and finally called as a change event. So these are some of the event that you can fire. Now, what are the basic steps in order to create the macros? So, of course, the first step is what? Create a new macros. Then repeat the following tasks. So, what are those tasks? That is, select an action that you want to perform and then configure that action. Okay. So, these are the two common tasks that you are going to perform for each and every steps. Then save the macros and finally run the macros. Okay. Now, in the today's sessions, we are going to perform the following practicals. Okay. So, first one is what? Open a table in a design view. Okay, then open a report and finally event macros to check whether student is pass or fail. Okay, so these are the three practicals that we are going to perform in the today's session. So these are some of the references. Now it's a time to do a practical session. So assume that this is your one of the table, say product. Okay, as soon as you double click over here, what happens? It opens a table in a datasheet view. Okay, now if you want to get a design view every time you click, so how to accomplish this particular task? So that is what the first thing that we are going to discuss in the today's session. So for that purpose, first of all, select a create tab. Then from here, select a macros. Okay, then what kind of action you want to do? You want to do a database objects. Okay, so click on the database object, then open a table. Open a table. Okay, then specify the name of the table. So suppose it's a product only. Then you want to view in datasheet view or in a design view. So we want it should be in a design view. Then whether you want to give a permission of edit or you want to make it read only. So let be it edit only. Okay, and now save these macros. So by pressing what? A function key F12. So name the macros, let be it macro one only, and now run the macro. And observe that your table has been open in a design view. So let me close it. Since we already saved it, no issue. Now every time you run a macro, see what happens. Okay, it will open the table in a design view. So that is the first thing. Now in the second uh, case, we are going to open what? A report. So how to do it? So again, click on a create, then macro, then here you can also show here action catalog. So open a say report. So which report you want to open? So we have already created some of the reports. So let's SBK electronics report and then close it. You can also specify here some filter. So right now it's not necessary. So again I am saving it, that is function key F12. So I'm naming it macro 2 only, no issue. Then close this macro. Now that is simply click on the macro 2 and it will open what? A report. Okay. So it means it's very easy. The common task that you are performing, that can be accomplished using by means of what? Macros. Now we will discuss about our third practical. Now assume there is one table, say exam. Let's view the structure. We have a four field, that is RNO, yes, name, unit, test, marks. Okay. And finally what? A result. So assume each unit test is of 100 marks and we want to display the result automatically whether the student is pass or fail whenever you are making certain entry into a table. Okay, it means as soon as certain change occur in a table, that trigger should get fired. So for that purpose, see, so create, or first of all open the table in design view and observe there is a what? Create data macro. So click over here, then it is showing the events, whether it is after insert, after update, after delete, before delete, or change, before change. So we will click on before change. Okay, then here select if condition. So if what? So if unit test marks, it should be in a bracket. If it is greater than, equal to 35, then what kind of action you want to do? So here set the field. What is that field? Result. Result should be equal to what? It should be pass. Okay. Otherwise add else. Otherwise again set field. The result column equal to what? It should be fail. It means you are able to write what? A conditional statement. Okay. Then again save it by pressing and then close it. Okay. Now double click and say roll number 100. Just name say Rajesh. Unit test marks, let assume 56. Now I am clicking on tab button. See, so it is showing automatically what? A result. 101. Say Nikhil. Say 23 marks. I am clicking on the tab button. So what is happening? It is as soon as certain changes occur on a data event, it is firing a trigger. Okay, that trigger is what here? It's a data event or macro. Okay, so that is how you are able to work with the macros on a data change event. So in the today's sessions, we have seen how to work with the macros. Okay, one is they are first one is what? They are called name macros, while the last one is what? It's a data change, that is events. Okay, it is called as an event macros. So I hope that you understood the steps in order to work with the macros. So with that, thank you very much. Have a nice day.